Let's look at some examples on what can absolutely destroy your site and your business. Welcome, this is episode 18. It's UX mistakes that can destroy your site and your business. Linkars. Well, what do we say here? It is an absolute mess and a design disaster, famous design disaster. She originally appeared on Dragon's Den in the UK back in something like 2007, I think it was, and a real character of a woman, but her website is a complete mess. The thing I would say about it is there's no focus. That's the main thing I see with it. There's no focus on what to do on the site. Do you click on the left hand side? Do you click on the right? Do you click on this video link? Do you click on Twitter? You look for a car, apply for a big button there, but there's no real focus to the site. It's a complete mess. And that's a problem with a lot of sites. There's simply no focus on what to do. It's information overload. What do I click on here? What do I do? Do I trust this site? In Lynn's cars, the people seeing that site for the very start, I would probably say no. It just doesn't look like a trustworthy site. There's so much going on and shouting, I'd rather go elsewhere. And that's what a lot of people will do. They will simply click away and just not trusting the design. There's just nothing of credibility that's saying to me, click me here. And there's just no focus on that. So if we look at another example, it's a Square Up app, a device for an iPhone. If you look at that design, there's just absolutely nothing else to do on that site but to click that Get Started button. Right in the middle, really apparent it's a button. There's just nothing else you can do, or nothing else really that looks like what you can do on that site. You compare that to Link Cars, and it's a completely different ballgame. So that's a really good design compared to a really bad design, and it's all about focus. Let's look at another example, slow loading websites. This is another thing to kill your usability on your website is simply slow loading. The Oakley site when it was launched was 80 megabits in size before they reduced it to about 18, which it is today, but that's still a lot of bandwidth to get down the pipe and into your mobile device. Say if you're on an edge network or you're tethering or you're not on a super fast broadband connection, that's a lot of data even at 18 megabits in size. If you look at some of the tips I've done in the 2 other videos about site speed, that will really speed up your sites, and have a look at those videos. Long web forms, number 3. If you look at the example on the left hand side to the example on the right, look at the one on the right. It's just so much easier to fill in. There's not as much data to give. It just looks a lot easier to fill in rather than so long web forms can really kill your user experience as well. So try and reduce the fields as much as you can, and you will get a lot more sign-ups with the less fields you've got. Number 4 is sign up and the $300 million mistake. On a hugely engrossing e-commerce store, there were 2 buttons upon purchase. There was login and there was register. There was no way that you could purchase without either logging in or registering to the site. And by removing that register button and replacing with a continue and adding the text, you do not need to create an account to make purchases on our site. Simply continue to proceed to checkout. To make future purchases even faster, you can create an account during checkout. By removing the register button, adding that bit of text and a continue button, that's all they did, and they increased the revenue on that site by $300 million in that year. That's absolutely incredible, and a 45% higher number of paying customers. So one thing to make sure is don't force your users to register to make purchases on your website. It's just something that's going to be dangerous and it's just going to kill your conversion as well. Last but certainly not least is Captcha. We've all seen Captcha, it's an example there, and you've got to type in those letters which it says in the above field. And sometimes those letters are really hard to read, and it's impossible almost to read what it is and put that in the box. There was one website that I had to attempt about 7 times to get past Captcha. It was unbelievable, and it was just as well I was really looking to sign up to the site, and it was a great site, but their user sign up process was terrible, and Captcha just killed it. But in most attempts, users are not going to take 7 attempts. They're just going to take 1 or 2 and get frustrated and just leave your site. So it's the one thing to watch is Captcha. It's really dangerous in user experience. In Expression Engine, the CMS that I mostly use for my sites, there's an add-on which completely makes the form act as it should, and there's no spam detection that the user sees. It's all done with a JavaScript in the background, and it works really well, and there's just no Captcha, and any chance you get to remove Captcha from your site, I would do it. It kills conversion. So thanks for watching. That's this week's episode. Keep up with the shows. The best way is probably on Twitter. My personal account is Johnny Mac, and there's the web payload account. There's also the RSS feed, and there is also traditional email, which is a great way to keep up with the shows. Thanks.